Welcome back to Sports Matters, a podcast about sport. I'm Zaidi Azmi, and in this episode, we are going to delve into Malaysia's performance at the Asian Games. Okay. With me today are two seasoned sports journalists, Graig Nunis and Arnaz M. Khairul. So guys, 6 goals, 8 silver and 18 bronze medals. So the Youth and Sports Ministry calls it a success. What do you guys think?
Well, as I was mentioning to you off camera, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's a scene where Luke Skywalker confronts Obi-Wan Kenobi, says he didn't tell him the truth that Darth Vader was his father. And he says, what I told you was the truth from a certain point of view. So for the sports ministry, maybe from their point of view, it's a success because they targeted 27 medals and they ended up with 32, which by the way is the lowest since 2002. So to us, we don't consider it a success, but to them it is, and we are still wondering why. And I think Arnaz has more stats to explain.
So you're saying that the force is with them?
No, it's not with them.
Arnaz seems to have a lot to say.
I think this is more or less a result of too much emphasis on the political image of certain individuals. So it's a political narrative, not a sporting narrative, to call it a success. Mm-hmm. I mean, if this is what we are calling out, we are calling out today, because these political narratives have sort of overwhelmed even their own logic. You call it a success when you just look back 5 years ago in Jakarta. It was 7 gold, 13 silver and 16 bronze. Even overall, it was the overall medal collection was more than what you got this time. So logically, how do you find the logic in calling it a success?
Okay, but their logic is that we count the number of medals.
Yeah, but it's less. It's
still less than before.
Like I mentioned, it's the lowest since 2002.
Yeah.
So in 5 years ago it was 30. Was it 36? Yeah. In 2014 is 33. Yeah. In 2010 is 41. Yeah. 41. Yeah. Yeah. And 2006 is 42. Yeah. 2002 was only 30. So we actually, you're saying it's success based on what? If you're basing it on 2010, yes, it's a success. But if you're basing it for the last 4 Asian Games, we are way behind. Yeah, in terms of medals and gold medals.
Yeah, and we should add that since 2002, with each cycle of the Asian Games, the budget for the programs has only increased. It has never reduced. So,
and we have a podium program in place for donkey's years, aiming for gold. So they've had, now it's called Road to Gold. Previously, the London Games, they had something. For Rio, they had. So all basically was, they're spending money geared towards the Olympics, which the Asian Games is supposed to be the stepping stone, because it's like considered a step below the Olympics. Yeah. But for these games, we have won the 6 gold medals out of the 4. Out of the 6 are not going to be in Paris. Yeah. So where is the gold medal coming from?
Yeah. And we should add also that since we just speak openly, since Hanayo has come in, her machinery and her communications machinery have tried to defy logic, not only defy logic, and also tell us things that are against the spirit of sports.
Such as?
You are going into Asian Games after spending over 300 million. Mm-hmm. Firstly you say we cannot set gold medal targets because we don't want the athletes to be under pressure.
What is so wrong about athletes being under pressure? Isn't like Doesn't it comes with the job? I mean, you're a national athlete.
Exactly.
You're supposed to be under
It's
pressure,
like
right?
reporters having deadline.
Yes.
You got to
exactly.
finish a story before the deadline to be published, So athletes, same thing. Their deadline is actually a medal, whether it's gold, silver or bronze. So we have to tell them this is your deadline or your criteria if you do so. How can you say, there's pressure? Because an athlete, as I was discussing with Arnaz, athletes thrive on pressure. That's why they're athletes. Not you, not me, not him. You just sit down here.
And we talk about the Road to Gold program. Road to Gold program is just a continuation of the high performance programs that have that first began in 2005. Actually, before that, it was regimented programs under the Jaya 98, which started in 94. But we officially ventured into high performance program with the AsiaCom program, which was launched in 2005. And high performance programs, you go anywhere in the world, high performance is basically understood as you have your best athletes, you give them the best, and they are geared towards taking on the world. They are geared towards pushing the limits, to defy the odds, to aim high. Not to suddenly not to put them to relieve them of pressure. Tell them, okay, it's okay, you go. We are not entering fun runs on a Sunday where everybody who enters gets a medal. This is high performance sport, and this RTG Road to Gold is a high performance program. You can't be treating it like playing masak-masak with Barbie and Ken. That is what they are doing.
Okay. Maybe there's a science behind this, because I remember the ministry and the government official and the minister cited some sort of it's a recommendation from Nitai.
We would like to see
the report,
the research papers or whatever they have on this, because even the Japanese contingent at the Asian Games, they had the government announced gold medal targets, gold, silver, and how many medals they target.
Even for the Tokyo Olympics, they set a target of 30 gold medals. And they eventually won only 27, but at least there was a target. So why is it that you let your home country set medal targets and you tell Malaysia no need to set targets? So something is missing there.
That's why I said this is all just a political narrative. It's not. There is no sporting reason behind all of this. There is no sporting reason behind all of this. It's all just political. And I must tell you, we have had too much of this. This is enough. Just give us some respite from all of this politics. It is dominating every aspect of our lives these days. Everything has to be, political considerations have to be taken into account to every part of our life. I mean, this is enough. We have to call it out and say, enough. We get real. You can't lie in sports. You can't.
But Arnaz, okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Okay.
Yeah.
So politicians are policymakers, right?
Yeah.
So how do you separate policymakers from sports? Policymakers are politicians, and politicians make policies. So when you're trying to separate politics and sport, how does that go hand in hand?
Firstly, the policymakers are paid by the people. They are spending the nation's money, which is our money. Also, they should understand that. You have when you are doing that, you have to be accountable for what you are doing. Simple as that. Like I am criticizing the minister. Now I am accountable for what I am saying. I am accountable for what I am saying. It's based on my years of experience and on my own groundwork, my own research, and this is what I am saying. So I am standing by my word, and I am accountable for it. Even though I'm not paid as much as a minister.
None of us are.
None of us are. But why are you trying to? I mean, why are you trying to tell us, pull a fast one on us? To put it simple, failures and defeat are as much a part of sports as victories and success. You have to, every athlete goes through defeat, goes through failures, goes through missed targets, and then they go through victories and success and glory in the end. We deal with all of that. Athletes athletes know how to deal with all this. And we have had high performance programs there since 2005. Since 1994, if you take into account Jaya 1998, which was launched in 2004. The whole government machinery in the National Sports Council, National Sports Institute should be geared towards handling this pressure and piling the pressure on the athletes to perform, not to cower away from pressure and make all these silly excuses.
Great. Okay, great. Can you take us back? I mean, when you deliver your facts, past it was like this, it was like this. In fact, we even scored 40 medals and everything. So, do you see a trend in which, when we scored the most amount of medals, this is what we did right? Do you see that?
Some of the argument they give is, these Asian Games, we didn't have X number of sports inside.
Yeah.
So we lost maybe 20 medals. But the thing is, before the Asian Games come out, you know in advance, about 4 years, 5 years, that this sport is out, this sport is out. So you will know we are going to lose 20 medals or what have you. So whatever sports is inside, that's when you, like you said, you had high performance. So these guys have been training towards that Asian Games.
Yeah.
So whatever you are doing is geared towards winning those medals. So as you go back to like say 2014, they got 40 medals and that. We got X number of medals on this sport. So instead of saying, you're going to lose 20 medals because these 6-7 sports are no longer there, how can we help the other sports deliver those medals? And for that, I think that has been lacking. Maybe I don't know, we can't be confident, but they've been putting too much focus on the road to goal, which I think we have discussed at other seniors, like I said, they should actually be targeting to 2028, because right now, Paris is just 10 months away, right? So focus on 2028. You have 5 years to plan. So same with the Asian Games, you had 5 years to plan. So you know X number of sports were not in, but new sports were here. How can you help those group of athletes who are going, or who went to China to prepare to win those gold medals? So the problem is now, you come back and say, we only 27 medals, we are very happy. But then what have you been doing for the 5 years? Where was the planning that we can actually maybe make up in this sport? Maybe for diving, diving China is very strong, so maybe we only win this 3 medals. So you break it down. This sport, we have lost this sport, this particular sport can replace it, and maybe instead of winning 3 medals here, we win 2. So you break it down into that sports where we can ideally win medals. By right, you should know goal or whatever, but at least you know. But so 27 medals from that number of sports that we had. And we, out of 45 countries, we are 14. But look at who is below us, So and among those countries, we have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions on sports. Our athletes are the best among in the region, the best taken care of. Our hockey players are trained full time, but they fail. I love hockey. My families are hockey players and all that. So I was wanting the hockey boys to do well. So there's no pressure on them, yet they fail. So when you say that don't pressure athletes so they can deliver, there's no pressure on hockey boys and they fail. Badminton, the president of OCM is the president of BAM. So there's no pressure on them. They say, we can win maybe 3 medals. We only won 1. So again, there was no pressure on them to win those medals, yet they fail. So how can you say that no pressure is good when the 2 biggest sports in Malaysia, apart from football, hockey and badminton, are failures? I don't know whether I answered the question or not, but I remember one.
So what you're saying is that this softer approach on our athlete doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Based on the results. I mean, you like I said, there was no pressure on them to deliver gold medals. But badminton failed and hockey failed. Those are the 2 biggest sports we have, because hockey, only a gold medal in hockey would have gone to the Olympics. Now they have got to go for another qualifier, right? So by not winning the gold medal there, the route to Paris is harder, because they're going to play in the qualifying round, and there are another 6 spots left, and so it's harder. So they say, no pressure. So
No
but I
problem.
don't blame the boys. The boys, you can see in the match, they went went all out to win the game, but they didn't win. So maybe if there was extra pressure, if you don't win, you're kicking out of the program. I'm just saying, for instance, no? Then like, oh shit, we really have to do it, otherwise we lose our funding and all.
But the thing right now is that the climate is done in such a way that if we were to criticize, we're not appreciative of the sacrifices of our athletes. It's always the guilt trip.
The politicians should not be using the athletes as a shield, because the athletes can accept defeat, can accept they know how to accept victories and all this. Yeah, so don't be using the athletes as an excuse. The thing is, all this whole narrative was all created because
someone doesn't want to admit. Someone does not want to admit.
There were people
failure.
who just don't want to be accountable. When there is nothing wrong with it, what the explanation that we would expect was what Greg just explained. Why we lost, where did we fail, and where we need to improve, what we need to do next. Not come and tell us that a decline in the overall medal count, a decline in gold medals is a success.
The cherry picking stuff.
That is.
Yeah. Going back to your cherry picking stuff, I think we also discussed, they had a graphics came out with the number of ratios, athletes to gold medals.
So that was so amazing. I was like, wow.
My colleague Harish Do wrote, he tweeted about it, saying that's the case, we just send the women, the squash team, they'll come back with 3 gold medals.
100%.
And so it's 100% ratio. So ratio is, statistics, you can always use it to tell lies or to
they say fact can't
facts, right?
They say fact can't lie, but apparently you can.
So it's how you twist it. So you can have that stat. It's not an issue. You can have the stat, but you don't have to blow it up as a achievement that we have this best ratio, because then you should take into account, okay, we have won 6 gold medals. How much did we spend to get the 6 gold medals? What's the ratio of expenditure for 1 gold medal for Malaysia? 300 million. So means we spent 50 million ringgit just to get 1 gold medal. How much did Singapore spend? How much did Philippines spend? How much did Thailand spend?
Or even better, since you want to use such a ratio, we go back in history at the 1988 Olympics. Suriname, a poor backward country from South America, Suriname sent just 6 athletes to the Seoul Olympics. They came back with 1 gold medal from Anthony Nesty, the swimmer, in the 100 butterfly. Do you know how much the Suriname government spent?
How much?
Nothing. So you want to use ratios? Okay. 35 years since then, we are not even able to match Suriname, having spent, since the Jaya 98 program was launched in 1994, I can tell you easily over 100 billion ringgit, and we have not even managed to match Suriname's result of the 1988 Olympics. If you want to use such ratios, such statistics, cook up some all these things, then it's I mean, this is beyond belief. I didn't imagine. It's not only the political narrative that is disappointing. It's also disappointing that the people in MSN, in ISN, who know better, they know how to deal with all this. In OCM, the NSAs, we have enough sports expertise in this country, but nobody is willing to stand up to the minister and say, no, we cannot do this. We cannot. We have to accept the defeat. We have to identify where we went wrong. We have to chart the future and how we are going to move forward. You can't go out and tell lies like this. You can't go and try and con people into saying this is a success. I don't know if it was such a success. I guess when they issued the statement that this was a success, probably they were celebrating and having a stiff one too many. And, I mean, they should not be doing it on the job.
Okay, speaking of success, speaking of charting the future, plans for the future. So, given our performance in the Asian Games, so the next Asian Games, which sports can we, win?
well, we will never find out because they are calling this as a success. We can't question them. I don't know. Great.
What we can know is squash will still do well. Squash has always done well in Asian Games. Nicole David, Ong Beng Hee, Azlan Iskandar. So squash has always been a success, and they have a good development program. Sadly, the CIMB program that they were supposed to start with recently have been stopped because, again, it goes back to the budget recently where they're talking about funding and all that. So they've given most money to sports, but for sponsors who want to come in,
there's no tax cuts.
no tax cuts. So you want to promote sports, yes, you give money like 1,000 ringgit extra to pay for your equipment and all that, but you got to give it to the companies, so they'll be willing to invest in sports, willing to invest in the grassroots, into the juniors, because those are the guys who need the money. The elite guys who already went through the system, they can find a sponsor. Like when Chong Wei was number one, he's got sponsors left, right, and center. No, don't blame him. I mean, you're an athlete, you want to make money, but it's always the grassroots that is a problem. Squash has always had a good grassroots program, but now the funding has been cut. How are they going to produce? They are lucky that people like Singrasari and Ng, who won the gold medal, are still young. They're still miles ahead of the others in the Asian Games. But on the world tour, they're still struggling. I mean, they're okay, they're top 10, top 20. But last time we had Nicole David, she was number one all through the thing. But these two athletes in Asian Games, in 4 years' time, I won't bet 100%, but I'll say 90% they will retain their gold medals because there's proper development. So now, as going back to this, the other sports, Kabil is going to retire. So equestrian is one medal short, right?
Azizul is no more.
Azizul won't be around. So Firdaus Shah is not in his category. He's good, but he's no Azizul. So there's the karate, we don't know, because karate is a subjective sport. Sport, today the judge feels that not giving you that 1 point, you might lose the gold medal.
Betul.
So
exactly.
Start out the 6 gold medals, that's what happens there. Then we got sailing. Because sailing, it also depends. Sometimes it's the waves is a certain way, and the angin is very good for you, so you might have the edge. But we have a good development plan there. So out of those 6 gold medals, I would say at least 2 can be retained from squash, maybe 3 because of the team event. But I don't know. I don't think equestrian is going to win. I don't think what's his name, Kabil, equestrian and the sailing. So that's doubtful. But the other sports, where are we seeing our future heroes? Where is it coming from?
Does the Road to Gold program cover all these sports?
But encompass lah. So the target is Road to Gold, which is the Olympics. So they said, so they were smart and they said, okay, it's to complete 2 cycles, 2024, 2028, because they knew there was not enough time to do it. So, but still, a lot of money has been pumped in. So we expect results, at least something lah, because.
So, Greg, I want to ask you, when it comes to 2028, are they then going to say, oh, we can't set gold medal targets? Any medal?
Then they should change the name.
But they change, but the name is already good.
So they cannot. So they have to maintain that. So they have to see now, with 5 years to go, from the Asian Games, which are the silver medalists, for instance. So, because maybe the silver medalists can become gold medalists. Like, okay, Hannah had the point in the sense that, like in karate, the guys who won the gold medal, he was 7 when there was the Asian Championship in Malacca. The girl who won the silver medals, the team and all, they were 7 in so there was an improvement. So that is okay. That is success in that sense lah. But overall, can those success continue? Can those guys from now, okay, you got the gold medal, you got the silver, can you maintain that? And sadly, karate is not in this coming 24 Paris Games. It was in Tokyo, but it's not. So hopefully it can come back in 2028. So if that's the case, okay, then we have maybe potential medalists. I won't say gold, again, I said subjective sports. You will know. Badminton. You got Lee Zizia, who finally won a tournament after 17 months. So it's good for him. And people, talking about critics, said pressure, right? Everybody says so the media was too hard on him.
Really?
Right?
Were we?
That's what people say. That's what his fans say, that we been criticizing him.
Okay.
But we did the same thing to Lee Chong Wei. What he did was, he he continued winning. So when he did badly certain times, how come Chong Wei did? But so he thrived on that pressure. So okay, maybe Liza is different. So hopefully this Arctic win he won again on Sunday will be the spur he needs to go on. And going back, Liza, also one problem with Liza and Chong Wei is Chong Wei's time there's no social media, so he didn't have his TikTok, he didn't have his video singing.
There were no distractions.
Yeah, so Liza is very involved in social media. Good for him because he engages with the fans.
Yeah, he's building his brand.
So that's good. But it should not be at the expense of his career, of him winning tournaments. So now although we're critical, but we've always said we want him to win gold medal because we want Malaysia to win gold medal. We are not here to hantam because tak menang.
I mean the danger here is, here we have people saying we can't handle pressure, but it's a given, right? All the top athletes in the world, and they are there, they thrive under pressure. The pressure is what gets them there. In fact, you don't have to put pressure on them. They put the pressure on themselves. They say, I want to be world champion. I want to win gold. I can tell you a story. Azizul Hasni, when he was about 16 or 17 years old, just a young, small little kid there in the velodrome at that time. I was a journalist. I was covering. Of course, our stars back then were Rosman Alwi. There was Fairoz Izni, Lee Robert, and all these guys. He was still upcoming, not even upcoming junior. Just entered the program. I mean, he called me and said, "Bang, I want to tell you, I'm going to be world champion." I said, hey, what is this kid talking about? I said, okay. But throughout his career, he kept in contact with me, messaged me. And one day, finally, he did it. He became world champion. That is the fire in our athletes that I'm worried. Silly policies such as this, no medal, we don't want the pressure. The politicians don't want the pressure, but the athletes need the pressure to succeed. The athletes need if you're afraid of pressure, the high performance programs in Vietnam, in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Japan, China, they are all piling the pressure on the athletes to go and win all the Olympic gold medals they can. If you don't want to, if you are saying all this, we will end up with athletes who can only enter fun runs to win medals just for entry.
I don't know if you notice it, but over the past few years, I've been seeing a number of news reports about sports. Whenever they quote the coach or they quote the athletes, it's always, saya harap untuk buat yang terbaik. It's always like that. It's always that soundbite.
Because they are left in this. I can't say. There are words which I can't say on air. But this is what the culture has bred.
But this also goes back to the lack of media training. If you see the American athletes in college football, college basketball, before they go there, if you see them on TV or other, they also say, I'll try my best. But if you go to NBA, when you sign a contract with the NBA team, you have a 3 months intensive media training. How to answer questions, how to act in front of a camera. You don't put your hands like this, or you have to keep your hands down. So they are trained to talk to the media. They're trained to answer the media.
We don't have that.
And we've been my previous company this time, Dinesh, right? So he had suggested that we will do this training free of charge because they had some dealings with MSN. Great idea! We should do this. It never came to fruition, And it's not that we want to put our branding there. It's just that we feel that athletes, not all, but a majority of them, don't know how to answer a question or to present themselves. I'll give you an example. I won't name this player. He's a former athlete. He was sponsored by company A. But he loves company B's drink. So he will always, this drink is bad. But if you're in front of camera, what he'll do, he'll change his t-shirt, put on the company's A shirt, No, the branding is there because that's his sponsor. So he then when he answers questions, oh yeah, A is the best. But I'm not saying he's lying, but it's carrying yourself, telling, answering. So he had training because his dad was telling you you need to answer the media so that the media will like to talk to you. And he'd like to talk to you, the sponsors, he's always on TV. Oh, he's always on the paper. Oh, my branding is out. So sponsors are also good. So when it comes to questions about performance-wise, he also knows how to analyze his game. Oh, man, I made a mistake at this particular juncture, or I should have done this at this time. That's how but eventually I came back. So he knows how to explain the matches that he's involved in. So how many of our athletes can do that? Nicole David can. That's she memang, you ask her a question, she can play for 5 games for one match. She'll know exactly point to point where the mistake was, what was the thing that she did that made her win. And again, she was under tremendous pressure being world number 1. Right? She just tried and she knows how to carry herself. So when you ask her, yes, I tried my best, but then she'll explain, not just I tried my best, full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, to be really honest, all this, they don't, the top athletes don't even go through, not all of them go through training anyway. It all comes naturally. But because there is a culture of openness, athletes are allowed to speak their mind. Here, that is not non-existent because athletes here they are not allowed to speak out.
What's so wrong about athletes speaking up? I mean, what's so wrong about athletes?
You should ask the guys who run the program. You should ask the minister, and you should also ask the media. Because when an athlete speaks up, when an athlete speaks up, raises issues, the media are supposed to be on the side of the athlete. Not to say be on the side of the athlete, but be fair. But every time an athlete has done that, they go on the side. The media has gone on the side of the officials, or even the minister who wants to.
Sebab nak dapat komen.
The media also is the media's fault is not on not training them, but on being complicit with the officials and the politicians. That is seriously what is happening. Media, I'm sorry to say, media now are too subservient.
Greg, is it because? Do you think it's because of, the current situation? Do you think it's because of Hannah? She leads the ministry. Do you think it's because of Hannah that she lacks sporting experience?
Well, she admitted she lacks sporting thing, but the thing is, it's not just Hannah, it's all the sports ministers. They always think they know better, which is okay, fine, because you're a minister, it's good. But it's not just her. I don't blame her alone. I blame all the ministers that have come before her. They all had their fault. They had their good points, they had their bad points. Lots of them, like you said, when they don't like certain things, they'll go after the media as well. Unlike the previous from those days, the older generation, you can call, for instance, Dato' Ahmad Mazlan, the MSN writer. You can call him whatever name, or rather you criticize him on the paper. He'll get angry. But next day, he'll talk to you. But these days, a lot of the officials, and you say, oh, Saidi, you made a mistake. Oh, how can you say I made a mistake? What do you know? You don't know what I'm doing, So then, they refuse to talk to you. So as the media, they say like, okay, I just call him out or something. Now I don't have access to what is happening in that program. So then they say, oh, why? So better not offend that particular person. So again, it's not just Hannah. It's not only in sports, it also in politics as well. So, like I said, we here today talking about sports, so of course we're targeting her, but we don't want to be seen as if we are just singling her out. I'm just saying the system is such that when whoever's in charge, a lot of people these days are hati tissue lah. So you criticize a bit and they get upset.
They obviously, even my column this past week, there are people accusing, coming and commenting even on Sinar's page, saying, oh, this is a Perikatan National supporter. I mean, I'm telling you, we are not here discussing this from a political standpoint.
It's always them who are trying to drive politics.
They're trying to drag us to make turn this into a political discussion. We don't give a damn about your politics, but you are harming sports. That is why we are calling you out. You are causing damage. You are causing damage to sport. Can you imagine? They look at it as simply as simple as nothing. As when you announce medal target, we don't need to target medals. We don't need to set a gold medal target because we don't want to put pressure on the athletes. The athletes will perform better. This is actually, there is no scientific evidence. Even the Nippon, we looked, and we have some friends who are in contact with this university. We are looking for that research paper. There is no, as such, I don't know if it might arrive tomorrow, but what I'm saying is, such a policy sends the wrong message all the way down the sporting structure. Can you imagine the coaches in the grassroots level, sports operates on how they develop athletes is setting targets every day in training.
Yeah.
And they are about setting target, meeting targets, or failing to meet targets, and finally meeting the target. That is what they are doing every day of their life. Can you imagine a young athletes now, after listening to the minister telling their coach, "Oh, minister says we don't need to set target. Why are you putting pressure on me?" How the effect is all the way down the sporting structure. This is causing damage. And this is coming from the ministry. So don't simply let go. You want to pull a fast one, do it among yourselves. Don't cause damage to sports.
Great. Why are you laughing, Greg?
No, I'm laughing because we might have a chance to question the Nippon sports club, because they're supposed to be in Malaysia in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully we will have opportunity to speak to them, to get their reasoning of why you claim that they have told us that we don't need to set a gold medal target. So I'm laughing because good, because like he present, we don't know. So I'm laughing because we can know in 2 months' time when they come, if we have the opportunity to actually speak to them, to find out the reasoning behind this.
What was your science? Hey, Nitai, what's your science behind your recommendation?
So far they have only spoken to us via the minister. So we need to.
Let's say, can I just email them and ask, hey?
You can do that tomorrow. Do that right after this.
Wow, look at you.
Get to work right after this. You should do that.
Because it's their reputation at stake as well. It's not like they are a nobody. They are recognized university. They are into sport. So if they feel that it's correct, then they should actually come out with a statement and say, yes, we did say this. So then we know, and
there is science behind it.
To prove why they said it. But again, it goes back to the fact that Japan has set gold medal target. So why under advising their home country?
I mean, don't come and leave so much damage in our sports. I mean, I'm telling you, the previous minister, if you remember, the previous Asian Games, or the one before, Lee Chong-wei, it was the Olympics, I think. Lee Chong-wei, after how many attempts in the Olympic final, still lost his final chance to win an Olympic gold medal against Chen Long. Editors were called up by the minister's office. Apparently, you are not supposed to say that Lee Chong-wei gagal menang pingat emas. The word gagal should not be used. Why are you being so sensitive? Like I said, defeat, failures, and missed targets are all part and parcel of sports. This is what we deal with every day.
Nobody likes to fail. It sucks.
It sucks. The politicians can take their desire to not fail and prove it in the political circle. But in sports, it is about You go through failures, you go through missed targets, you go through this every day. You tell a coach you ask a coach who is training an athlete, he sets a target, the athlete fails the target every single day until they finally succeed. You know, this is normal. We accept it. We can accept it. You can't deny all this. You can't live a lie. You know, you get real.
Okay, guys, we're nearing the end.
Yeah.
So, Greg, any last remark?
Well, there is rumors that there is going to be cabinet reshuffle. My question is, if they were to replace Hannah as, we're not calling for it, maybe some people are,
Okay.
but if they are calling or she removes her, question is, who do we have that can become a good sports minister? In the cabinet that we have now, sadly I say we don't have anybody who of good caliber. You know? So the question is, whoever, if you do replace her with, think carefully, because they are going to set the momentum for Paris and also the 2028 games. Whoever is chosen must be the one that can carry on the projects, come out with something new to ensure that we do hit the road to goal, either in Paris or in 2028 in LA. You know, so if you want to change her, that's up to the PM. But think carefully, who's going to come in to, because you just given another 70 million to
That's a
youth and
lot.
sports. So how are you going to utilize that money to ensure that there is a legacy, that there is success? Target is gold medal, even though they say no target, but whoever is coming in must make sure that they are the right people lah.
Arnaz, should she be changed?
Well, I mean, if you
Come on.
if you ask me, we were ready to give her the benefit of the doubt and give her a chance. But you have been 10 months there. You came in on the promise of reform, and I mean, people can't say me and Greg against her, because she was the unknown in our constituency, and I think I voted for her twice. You know, so we are not against her, but we have the right to be disappointed with her. You know, because you come in on the promise of reforms, but all you have done is sustain the status quo, and even cause more damage. You know, but anyway, what I would like to go.
You're losing your train of thoughts.
I mean, what Greg said is about planning for the future. What I would like to say is, the Prime Minister should have a look and realize that this system is a failed one. This system, which sees this, why it has failed is it has failed the whole lot. It has not only failed to deliver medals. It's not as simple as that. It is a failing system because since 1994, when government first got involved, and all this, all sports came under regimented programs, all fully backed by the government. All the elite programs, all the elite athletes were all funded by the government, fully funded. What this has done is it has stopped a lot of sports. It has not grown. You know, one thing, because most of our sports have not grown. They are incapable of funding themselves. You know, they're
depending on government money all this while.
Our sports industry now, what is it? 23. No, how many years? 29 years. Yes. 29 years since Jaya 94, and I think easily over 100 billion ringgit of government spending on these elite programs under the National Sports Council. We are nowhere better at the Olympics than the 1996 Olympics, where we won one bronze, one silver and one bronze, both through badminton. You look at the result of the latest Olympics, one silver and one bronze. 29 years and over 100 billion ringgit later, we are nowhere better. And what all this has done is, it has created a structure whereby our sports, we don't have a sports industry per se to talk about, because all our sports are funded by the government. You know, everything is funded by the government. You are not growing, and this is a system which is more or less what was practiced in the Eastern Bloc behind the Iron Curtain before. The communist countries, which is all state funded, you know. Soon, our only friends who share a similar concept would be North Korea.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
That's exactly what it is, because everyone else is commercializing, industrializing their sport. All their sports are industry backed. You don't even have to go far. You look at the Philippines. Do you think the Philippines government are spending hundreds of millions of ringgit on their elite sport? No. Their boxers are going. Their boxers they have, I think, 2 or 3 gold medalists from the last Olympics. They're not funded by the government. They're all.
The weightlifter trains in Malacca.
The weightlifter. It was not even funded by the government. And recently in the Asian Games, the EJ Obiena, the pole vaulter, he was not funded by the government. After he won the gold medal, he went back to the Philippines, and his former university raised funds to give him some incentive, and finally he gets some financial assistance. So all we are doing is we are creating a system. We are sustaining a system where our sports is run by committees of men in suit who go and collect allowances and talk, and I don't know what they do, and
we probably don't even do sports.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, all we will do if we sustain this system as we progress, all we will do is spend more and more money without result, because we are not industrializing. The growth of our sport is limited by the government funding right now. It is not boosted by government funding. It is limited. They cannot grow beyond that. That is the problem with our sport. I mean, this can be our next episode. You know.
All right, Graig, Arnaz, thank you so much for coming down here to talk about performance at the Asian Games.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That was Sports Matter, a podcast about sports. I'm Zaidi Azmi, and I'll see you next time.